Hi, and thanks so much for joining me for my January favorites. I know we are far into February by now, but it's taken me a while actually to make sure I've got my favorites down here because I picked up so much in January. So I've been testing these things out, starting with the By Terry CC Serum. This is an Apricot Glow. It says it is hydrating, provides radiance, and color correction. And this provides some really beautiful, very subtle color correction for me. And it blurs and brightens as well. It's a little bit lighter than my skin tone, so it provides a nice base for the foundation. I have two foundations that are favorites because I use them together. So I ranked my foundations that I picked up. I'm continuing to test them, but these still emerged as the top two. A lot of you let me know that you love this one as well, so thank you for that. I had not watched any reviews or anything like that, so it was good to hear that other people like this as well, especially combo skin. Some of you though with dry skin really love this as well, but you said to make sure to moisturize really well before you apply this because it does last all day very well. And I have mine in BD41, so I apply it to the center, but when I have more dry skin, when it comes to combo skin, I will apply the number 1 de Chanel on the exterior. And also those of you with more oily skin, if you do the opposite and don't prep as much with moisturizer, this works really beautifully as well. So all skin types can use these products. I think it just comes down to prepping correctly. But this has more of a real foundation kind of performance, very seamless, perfected look. And then this one is more like a skin tint, a blurring effect, really feels natural on the skin, although this feels really good on the skin too, but this is more undetectable in terms of foundations. So I love both of these. And then for concealer, I decided this is a favorite. It took me a little while to get used to it because I was so used to the previous formula. This is a Clé de Peau. This is SPF 27 and it has a brightening ingredient, which is new. So I've been enjoying using that. This has more of a skin-like finish, very subtle difference compared to the last one. The last one is a bit drier looking. I did notice I could see my pores a little bit more, but that's because I think it has more of a skin-like effect and it reflects light just slightly more. And the way I applied it today was right on top of the CC Serum. I went completely out of order on my application. I don't know why, I went really out of order. So I ended up putting this on top of the CC Serum, but under foundation. And I really think I liked that combination, especially with this foundation right here. Make sure to tune into the Get Ready With Me where I applied this straight on top of the CC Serum, and then you can see that skin-like glow of this concealer, but it's still dry enough that it's not going to move. I still do not like this under the eye though. I would stick with the SISLEY because that is such a beautiful under eye concealer that doesn't require powder, doesn't cake up or look dry. This has a tendency to look dry and visible under the eye, which I don't like when it comes to under eye concealers. So I would reserve this just for the darker areas on my face, especially the more oily areas, but really liking this. I would like to pick up Honey, but I think it worked really well today. So you'll get to see what that looks like and really how seamless it was. And I did not end up applying any concealer on top of the foundation after the fact. Speaking of skin, I've been really testing these out. The AM and PM, let me just make sure I get this right. These are the Gold Recovery Intense Concentrate by Chantecaille AM and PM. So I tried the PM before and I let you know I used the AM, but I really am seeing some beautiful progress with my skin, which is why I think I can get away with kind of messing with the concealer a little bit more. I could not disturb it before because it was doing such heavy duty work, but now I just need some concealer and I need it to stay in place. This combination, I'm going to read it here though, improves skin dullness to boost radiance, supports improving hyperpigmentation, and I have seen that with this product. So I'm on the hunt for the most effective items for hyperpigmentation. Oh, that reminds me of something I need to talk about really quickly. Addresses fine lines and signs of aging, fights skin fatigue, improves elasticity, and supports firmness. And I've really seen all of these things happening with my skin. I don't do any treatments in any kind of clinics or anything like that, so this is my form of a treatment and I've really enjoyed it. So I've tried that for a month now and these go a long way. They always give you more than you need, which is what I love about Chantecaille. Yeah, so this will last longer than you need them to, and I can extend these a little bit more, a little bit longer, but I did use them AM and PM for an entire month and I love the results. I want to also mention I have a new resource called Shop List. It's a list that contains shoppable links. I do have other places where you can find it, but this is the most, I think, simple and clear way. You'll see my picture on the top, but the first shelf that I have for you are things that are currently on sale or current promotions, because I think that's really important. So I'm going to try my very best to stay on top of those things. So if you want to see what sales are live, you can go there and find all of them. And like I said, I'm going to do my best to keep those current. Then I've got my top shelf items. So what are those favorites? They are going to be mostly my favorites of 2021, but if something changes, I will change it here. So you'll see those changes happening as I continue to find the best of the best. I also have promo codes. So all the random promo codes, I put them in one place. So I've got those there. Like Twisted Lily is one where I have a 10% off. And then favorite online retailers like Chanel, Nordstrom, and you can see on this one, there are 7 listed here, but you can only see 2. So you've got to click on the title. And once you click on it, you can scroll and it'll show you Chanel, Nordstrom, CHANTECAILLE, Sephora, Selfridges. If you shop Selfridges, I pay the $55 a year. So as much as I spend at Selfridges, that for me makes a lot of sense. So if you do shop on Selfridges a lot, I would recommend that. Victoria Beckham Beauty, Dior, all those things, you can go back. Then you can find products targeting discoloration. So I have several products here. So again, just click on that title and then you'll see all of these products I've used that have been effective. And I will continue to add to that list. So if you just scroll, you see my favorite things that I talk about all the time, including these earrings. One of you let me know it's funny when you watch my videos in sequence that these earrings, I'm talking about them all the time, but it seems like every time I don't talk about them, there's a question. So you can find those earrings there and other things I talk about or you see all the time. So make sure to click on that link. I have it in the description box now. If you click on that, you'll see all of the information. So that's a new tool I'm trying to use to streamline how you can find products that I talk about. Let me know if there are other categories you want me to include and anything else to make accessing products easier. I'd be happy to do that. Really quickly with skincare, because I feel like without skincare, everything else is so much harder when it comes to putting on makeup. The lifting products that I've been using have been really nice. So the BioLifting Serum by CHANTECAILLE and the BioLifting Cream Plus are things I've been loving. I mean, I've been loving these for months, but I forget to talk about them. I've also been using the NUFACE device again. I feel like my face, as I get older, I don't know, it's getting puffier or something. I don't know, but I feel like it needs a little bit of definition here. Yeah, just a little more tightening if possible, and defining the jawline a little bit more, as much as I possibly can with topical type things like this. Now there is a current in here, so if you have any medical concerns, I would consult with your physician first before you use this, because you just want to make sure that it is safe for you. Some of you let me know that you use the gel first and then wipe it off and then go in with skincare. I was putting skincare first and then the gel, which didn't make sense. So that's why I was getting residue. So thank you for the little tip. So I'm using the gel first and then I go in with skincare later, but it has been really helping. And I do notice it defines this, even if it's just temporary for, you know, a few hours, it helps. I've been doing that a lot before videos. Let me know if you have the NUFACE device. For me, it works when I use it, but it does take more time. That's the only thing. You've got to carve out more time. So that's why I haven't been using it, but I really feel like I need to start focusing on that again. So I've been using that this month. Really happy with it. Let's talk about eyeshadow palettes. Unfortunately, this one I don't think it's available any longer, but I'll keep my eye out. It's the 747 by Chanel, and I have one of the shades on today. I did a combination with various palettes. There are a few reasons I think this went quite quickly. Even though it's very subtle and neutral, I think that is one of the reasons why it went quickly. It's limited edition, and it appeals to so many people because it's neutral. I know it's not the most exciting color story, but it's something people use and it's something I use. And those are some reasons I think it really went so fast. But it is a beautiful palette and I have been enjoying using it. You can see I've used it quite a bit. I traveled with this one, really easy to use as well. So Chanel limited edition items, I think I've said it before, if you are interested in them, when you see them, and I try to post my videos as soon as I possibly can, pick them up if you have the means to do that. If it's in your budget, pick it up because chances are it will be gone. So again, when you see those neutral palettes, limited edition go by that are good, I wouldn't wait too much longer. if you have the budget to pick it up and you were thinking about it. So I do have that on. It's lovely. I also used this one, the SUQQU one, currently available as far as I know. This is the one in 08. Now I just used these two today. So even though it has these lovely colors, you don't have to use them. I think this green shade though is beautiful on the eyes, and this orange shade was a really nice accent. But if you want something more neutral, you can just go in with these two. When I do the Get Ready With Me, I just use these two shades, and then you can kind of see what it will look like with just the neutral shade. So I use those. And is that the only one? Yeah. I picked one DIOR palette out of the 4 that I picked up. And it's Popeline. I thought it was so pretty on. I know this one came broken. I don't know where this is in terms of availability, but I will look. But I thought it was a really lovely pink palette. I don't like pink eyeshadows generally on me, but I thought this one was really tasteful, sophisticated, and very fresh looking. So if it is available, or I don't know if this has been remedied where this doesn't break, but I fixed it myself. It seems to be doing fine. Or if it's available in store, that might be a nice place to pick this up just to make sure it's not broken. And then I have this ROEN palette, which has been another really frequently used palette. Now, I didn't use that one today. I recently posted a video where I featured the new ROEN highlighters. They're so gorgeous. But I did a one and done with this. I used just this shade right here. So if you want to see that video, I will try and link it below. It's one of the more previous videos. I will try to because I always forget. But this is beautiful with the ROEN brush. Now, this is a favorite as well, this ROEN brush. It works beautifully with this. I think you maximize. I have not tried applying this with any other brush, but I can't imagine applying it with any other brush because these work so beautifully together. It has a beautiful shape to it, and then I love this end. And I used that today to help apply that deeper shade in the Chanel palette underneath. So love that. I also wanted to mention, I love this. I love that it's a beautiful accent. I didn't add it today, but it is the Ombre Premiere Lac in 46. Really gorgeous shade. I love it to just do a one and done and then add it right on the center of the lid. I think it's so, so pretty and a really easy way to elevate your eye look. Oh, I don't want to forget, I only wear like 2 nail polishes, and they are both Chanel, and this is the second one that I've been wearing. I wear there's like a goldish one from last year, and then there's this one. It's in 917 Terra Rosa. Really gorgeous shade, especially on warmer skin tones. I love this one. Let's talk about blushes. So many lovely blushes. They might surprise you, the ones that I picked though. So maybe not this one. This is Peche Rosee, which I have on now. I love this one because it does have a unique warmth about it that is a little bit tricky to find in blushes. I love the finish. It is a skin perfecting kind of blush. And then I also picked this one. This is Peche COSMIQUE. This is that one that I thought I was gonna like because I couldn't see it, but it really helped me apply other blushes because it is a very light shade. You can do this with any light blush. So if you have one, don't go out and buy this, although I don't know if this is available any longer, but if you apply that first and then a more intense blush, it will help diffuse that blush. If you have ones that are more difficult to apply but you still like the color, I really like the effect, and it highlights a bit as well. So that one is a really beautiful, kind of an unexpected favorite for sure. And then I can't not mention the SUQQU blushes. They are beautiful. So I took this one 02 and just did a pop of color here on the cheek today. Really lovely, worked beautifully with the Chanel blush. They make the skin look better, and that's what I love about these blushes. They have a lovely glow without any sparkle or shimmer. Yeah, I can't say enough about the blushes. In fact, I ordered yet another one, so I have a third one on the way, and we'll use that in an upcoming look. So I have this shade, and I have a peachier shade as well in shade 3. Powder wise, I'm still loving the RODIAL glass powder, which is more widely available. So if you wanted to pick it up, I would pick it up. I've tried to find as many links in as many different places internationally as I could, but it is a lovely, lovely loose powder. I have not found one that I like since the Clé de Peau loose powder, and that was a long time ago. Loose powders are one of the trickier powders for me to find, but that is lovely. Then for pressed powders, I'm really liking this by Terry palette, the Hyaluronic Hydra-Powder palette in number 1. And I love putting this on the face and then this on the exterior and then highlighting with these as well. That's what I love about it, is that it has many different shades in it, but they all work really well together. So I used that today, but of course, I could not resist. I went in with the CHANTECAILLE Perfect Blur Powder. It just does make everything look so much more perfect. So I love that. Actually, I'm gonna put some on now because it's a little warm now. It was cool, now it's warm. Can't decide. This powder just makes my makeup so much better, just right here in the center. I love it. Moving on, bronzers. These Chanel bronzers are great for the winter when my skin's more dry. Great for the summer too. Really love these in the winter though. I have both shades, the light and the deep. I can mix them together, but if I'm not paying attention, it can be too deep. So the best way for me to go in, which I show in the Get Ready With Me, is to go in with a lighter one first, and then go in with the deeper one and just go under the cheekbone with that one. But I really just use this on the perimeter of my face and then went in under here. So I'll show you when I apply that in the Get Ready With Me. And then I love this. I've been using this nonstop as well, the SISLEY bronzer, which you know was my favorite last year and I think the year before. I love that one, it's so good. My favorite fragrance is the Vetiver by CHANTECAILLE. The notes here are citron, pink pepper, nutmeg, juniper, cypress as top notes. Mid notes are muguet, cedarwood, and iris. And then the dry down is vetiver, vanilla, musk, and sandalwood. Yeah, it's just such a fresh yet very anchored kind of fragrance because of the dry down notes. Really quickly, some favorite brushes. The ROEN Eye brush is a new one, as well as the ROEN Blush Brush and Blend brush. I said I could never say that correctly. I still cannot. Blush and Blend. And then also the Everything powder. I love all of these ROEN brushes. They are beautiful and I love their shapes. I did pick up that Sonia G brush that I was looking at, so that's on the way. Still loving the Shiseido brush for foundation, Clé de Peau, this one for concealer. I love it. And some of you let me know you picked it up and you were like, this feels really cheap. Yeah, it does. It feels really light, like it's not going to do anything, but it is quite amazing. So don't be fooled by the way it feels because it is really lightweight. And then the Buff and Blur brush by CHANTECAILLE. Those are some of my all-time favorite brushes, but this Clé de Peau brush is really good for cream blushes. So if I go in with this, although I didn't include it as a favorite blush because I think these other ones are so much better for me. If I didn't have discoloration, this would probably be in there, but I just have to be so careful around this area with this that it's easier to go in with those powder blushes, but I will use this every once in a while as a blush. The Chanel, this is the #1. So when I do, I will use this brush, the Clé de Peau. It's really great for cream and liquid blushes. Yeah, too much talking today. But I love this for the lips. I think it's such a lovely color, really easy to wear. It's more of like, I said it before, it's more like a balm stain. It's not as emollient as a lip balm, lip gloss kind of product, or a solid gloss even. Although it's emollient, it is not as hydrating as some other balms. Other lip products, I love this one by ROEN. It's in the shade Alba. It's a tinted lip oil balm. So if you want really, really hydrated lips, I would go with something like this. It's really hydrating. In fact, I traveled with this because I like to make sure I have something that provides a lot of hydration when I travel, and that's one I took with me. Really pretty shade as well. For other lip shades, I really liked Walk of a Star. Really beautiful deep shade, although that's not the one I'm wearing, but you'll see it's very similar to the one that I have on. I have on this one by Chanel. Oh no, I just smashed it. Okay. It's the one in 138. It's a lovely shade. I have it on now. I'm not going to show. Oh, it's very sad. I always do that with my Chanel lipsticks. I never wind them all the way down, but it's a beautiful shade. I love this one. I also liked this one in 118. I thought this was a really pretty Your Lips But Better kind of shade. Really evened out the skin tone. I think I wore it in a subsequent video after the initial one. Oh yeah, I wore it with a Tom Ford video, I think. And then this one, the Rouge Coco Balm. I love this one in 924. I actually have it on top of the other one that I just showed you by Chanel, the deeper one. I just kind of dotted it on top just for a little bit more hydration, and it intensified it a little bit more as well. So I love that one. For mascara, even though I tried out a couple of other mascaras, the Biteria is very lovely, and so is the ROEN. I think those were really, really nice ones, but I still prefer the CHANTECAILLE Faux Seal Longest Lash Mascara. This is the only one really that I can build up. It never dries out. Consistently looks beautiful, and that's the one I have on now. So this is the one I count on, although I wouldn't hesitate to use the other ones, but when I really, really need to count on something to perform every single time, it's this one. CHANTECAILLE Fossil Longest Lash Mascara. Still love it. Eyeliners, especially for these more like golden, warm shades. This Victoria Beckham in bronze works especially well with 747 by Chanel, as well as the ROEN Gold Lust palette. Really beautiful shade for the waterline. It just canceled out any redness. I think that's where I look a little bit tired, if you can see that redness in there, which is why I go in the waterline. And then also CHANTECAILLE's Black Forest is a really gorgeous color that goes with the SUQQU palette. Where did I put it? This lovely green shade. These two work beautifully together. So if you have this, I would get Black Forest to go in the waterline. They worked seamlessly. And then always love the Eye Kajal in Black by CHANTECAILLE. I just tightline with that. It just makes my lashes look fuller. And you'll see the difference because this time when I do the Get Ready With Me, I add eyeliner after mascara. So you'll be able to see what that looks like pre-eyeliner. I mentioned I love the Clé de Peau concealer on the face. Still love the Sisley under eye as well as the La Prairie. I know this seems excessive, but I tried this one, the La Prairie. Like the sticker's already fallen off and everything. I think it's almost time to get a new one. But I used this on top of the Clé de Peau when I tried it, and it did not work at all. That Clé de Peau just grabbed onto this and it did not look seamless at all. It kind of stood out. So that's why I love these together, because they do work so well together. I could go in by myself. I could go in with La Prairie by itself, just in that brightest area, but I'll still have some darkness here. So that's why I use the Sisley all over, and then I go in with this. So I love these two together. Not necessary, but for me, I'm happy with these two together. For brows, I went in again in a different order. I went in with the brow gel first. So you get to see this by itself, DIOR Show Pump and Brow. And then I go in with the Gucci and then with the ROEN. So you'll see all three of these together. Yeah, so application was different today, but I really liked the result. I still love the primer by CHANTECAILLE. When I use primer, I've been using it with more powder type products. Seems to work really well with that, but I will skip this when I use something like the Tom Ford or the ROEN palette, but otherwise I still am loving this, and that's in the shade medium. Oh, I forgot to mention, I knew I was gonna forget something. I've been using the Airbrush by Charlotte Tilbury to apply the bronzer. So I'll show you how I use this to apply the deeper bronzer under the cheekbone, as well as all over, not all over the face, but on the perimeter of my face. Really quickly, a favorite accessory that I've worn now that it's gotten cooler are my Stuart Weitzman boots. So those are the ones that don't go on sale. So I don't know how I found them on sale. It was like last year, I think, at the Stuart Weitzman store. But this one rarely, actually, I have not seen it go on sale since. Otherwise, I would have posted it for you, but I'll let you know if I ever do see it on sale. Really versatile, very comfortable boots. I wear it with skirts, denim, you name it. You can wear these with pretty much anything. So I really like that it's elevated with that chain detail on there. But I'll go ahead and show an insert because I don't like holding the shoes in my hand after I've worn them, but I'll show you an insert. Make sure you save a link to that shop list just so you can keep track of all the things I'm adding to it. I like that it's a one-stop shop and it's a really simple site to navigate. And also make sure to tune in for the Get Ready With Me where you can see everything, well, not everything, but a lot of things because I talked about a lot of products. You'll get to see application of this look today and some different techniques that I tried out that might be interesting to you. And as always, let me know what your favorites were for the month of January. But that's it for today's video, so please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.